Good day all, my name is Usman Muideen from the Department of Political Science and International Studies, Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, Nigeria. The title of my paper is Governance and Ethnic Conflicts in Nigeria. The keywords in the paper are governance, ethnicity, ethnic conflict, and Nigeria. Introduction. The origin and history of ethnic conflict, societal wars and violence can be traced from eternal, that is, internal state rivalry, and external, physical. And its root cause is not very far from power competition and decision making over economic resources and other important human factors like position. The implementation process has always involved more than one or two persons. The nation Nigeria is the brainchild of the amalgamation of the northern and southern protectorates by the British colonial administration under the watch of Sir Frederick Lord Lugard in 1914. The process brought about the merging of people of diverse belief and culture into a single entity. The major objective of this paper is to examine the effects of governance on ethnic conflicts in Nigeria. Definition of the key words in the paper: governance, concept and construct. Governance is usually defined as the manner in which authority is exercised in the management of a country's socio-economic resources. Kaufman, Art, and Pablo, 1999, have extended this definition by including three core dimensions of governance, namely: 1. The process by which those in authority are selected, monitored, and replaced. 2. The government's capacity to effectively manage its resources and implement sound policies. And 3. The respect of citizens and the state for the country's institutions. This definition is in line with what Astra, Coles, and Mark 2003 call a well-functioning government, that is, government that is abide by the rule of law, whose bureaucrats and policy makers are not affected by graft practices, and whose administrative machinery delivers goods and services in an efficient manner. Conflict. Conflict is a universal feature of human society. It takes its origin in economic differentiation, social change, cultural formation, psychological development, and political organization, all of which are inherently conflictual and becomes overt through the formation of conflict parties, which come to have or are perceived to have mutually incompatible goals. This is why Adetoye and Olumisi 2015 stated that conflict entails struggle and rivalry for objects to which individuals and groups attach importance. Ethnicity. Ethnicity should be seen as arising in any situation where a group of people, no matter how small, with different cultural and linguistic attributes from those of its neighbors, uses this as the basis of solidarity and interaction with others. In so doing, the group sees itself not only as distinct, but as a group in itself and for itself. In other words, sociocultural consciousness of oneness develops and forms the basis of interaction with and participation in other sociocultural processes, especially in power and resource allocation within a larger social group or state. Methodology. The research design of this paper is content analysis. That is, the paper strictly relies on the secondary data such as textbooks, journals, reports, for analysis and conclusion. The paper is anchored on elites and relative deprivation theories for theoretical orientation. Data presentation and analysis. Socio-economic drivers of conflict, instability, and resilience. Nigeria's economy is slowly recovering from the 2016-17 recession and faces serious macroeconomic challenges. The 2016-17 recession was the first in 25 years and followed a decade of strong economic growth driven by oil revenues. The recession was precipitated by the continued decline in oil prices, foreign exchange shortages, disruption in fuel supply, and sharp reduction in oil production, power shortages, and insecurity in some parts of the country, as well as low capital budget rates, that is 51%, according to Balungui, Odiambo, and Asogwa 2017. This is well presented and captured on the charts in the paper. The lack of distribution of Nigeria's wealth means that inequality, poverty, and lack of access to basic services fuel grievances across the country and hold back development. In 2016, Nigeria was ranked at 152 out of 188 countries and territories in the world in the Human Development Index, while it has seen improvement in well-being, example, between 1990 and 2015. Nigeria's Human Development Index value increased by 13%. Life expectancy at birth increased by 7 years. Mean years of schooling increased by 8.0%. And its DNI per capita increased by about 98%. 54% of its population, despite all this, 54% of its population still lives in poverty, despite the decades of oil wealth. This points not only to the failure of post-colonial leadership, but also to a profound crisis of governance. The paper concludes that an evaluation and understanding of ethnic conflict in Nigeria requires a consideration of the impact of governance. Political and religious elites have impacted on ethnic conflict in Nigeria. This has worsened ethnic rivalry in the state as a result of feeling of oppression, repression, domination by the ethnic majorities, because they are the ones managing the affairs of the country, yet they fail to provide social amenities. This is what led to hate speech in Nigeria that always results in ethnic conflicts. This is the end of my paper, Mr. Chairman. Thank you all for listening.